Hi everybody, welcome to this week's My Weekly Rage Fix. I hope everybody had a great week as always. Just want to talk to you about this week's Parsha. We have a double portion, Behar and Bichukosi. And in the end of Bichukosi, we read the famous Tochacha, the section in which the Jewish people are rebuked if they, God forbid, do not follow Hashems Torah. Then the punishments that are described therein occur, in which our sages actually say, Nachmanides explains that the ones in this week's portion were fulfilled by the first destruction of the temple, and the one in Deuteronomy was fulfilled by the destruction of the second temple. And the reverse is also true, that when we do follow Hashem's mitzvos, we receive a reward for doing that. And the famous question is asked that normally we are made to understand that we do not receive reward in this world for doing Hashem's mitzvahs. So, if so, what's the concept of reward and punishment? So, I heard from my father, Shlita, he should live and be well, that the idea is that it's like similar to a car. If you put oil in the engine and gas in the gas tank, then the car will work. That's not a reward, that's just cause and effect. And if you do the opposite, if you put the gas in the engine and the oil in the gas tank, then the car won't work. That's not a punishment. Rather, that's, again, further cause and effect. So here's a system. This is how the system works. If you do it correctly, it'll work. If you do it incorrectly, it won't work. It's just simple facts. And we're learning here that the world and the Jewish people, they stand by this idea as well, that Torah for us is our gas in the gas tank and our oil in the engine. And when we don't do Torah, so then we're pretty much ruining the entire car. And rebuke, the punishments that come, are not necessarily a form of punishment either. That it's just Hashem's way of trying to stress for us how important it is for us to follow the Torah. Because if we don't follow it, unfortunately, there will be destruction. And it is a fact, and it is a fact that has followed us throughout our history. Which brings me to my point that I'd like to share with you today, and that is the miracle of the Jewish nation. Here we have a whole tochacha, a whole section rebuking the Jewish people that if they don't keep the Torah, all the terrible punishments that followed the Jewish people throughout their generations. And they came to fruition. Unfortunately, it wasn't just the first and second temple. It was the expulsion from Spain. It was what Hadrian did. It was also the Holocaust. It was the Crusades and the Cossacks and many different things that even if a little bit of the Jewish people don't keep a little bit of Torah, these rebukes are also in place. And therefore, how is it possible that the Jewish nation should continue to exist? Persecutions have been following us throughout our generation, throughout our lives, throughout our history. Yet the Torah still says, that, and the Torah says on top of that, you will be the fewest of all the nations of the world. So the fact that the Jew exists is an incredible, incredible miracle, and we have to realize that our existence is entirely miraculous. And the reason why that is because we are Hashem's chosen people, and He also made a promise that we will never cease to exist. So with all the great calamities that can befall us, God forbid, they should never do it anymore. We should see Mashiach quickly in our days. Nevertheless, Hashem gives us a special protection, and we will always continue to exist. And that's actually a great idea for a person to take with him into the upcoming holiday of Shavuos, in which we were makabel the Torah, where we receive the Torah. And if a person takes upon himself that idea that he will always continue to exist, what a great way to then go and accept the Torah, because when a person realizes that he has that divine providence with him, and he's a part of that, then that in itself is kind of already a Kabbalah Torah in its own right. Just want to wish you a great Shabbos. Talk to you next week.